Hello travellers, Shaku here and welcome back to another Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent video. So as you guys might know, we got the new arena in the next update featuring Gertrude, and in this video I'm going to suggest some characters to use and potentially some team combinations to help prep you up for the next fight. But before we get into the video, bit of a warning, I will be showcasing the weaknesses of the fight, so if you don't want to get spoiled by that, feel free to click off the video. So to start off, Gertrude is actually weak to dagger, bow, as well as fire, so make sure to bring those characters that can deal those weakness types. So to start off, this is one of the teams and characters that I'm going to suggest using, with Ritu, Viola and Adele being the main DPS. We've got Hasumi here as the burst heal, as well as her defensive buffs. And then we got Theo with his regen. As for the last three characters, we got Lucetta here, only because she is able to debuff the enemy's defense, as well as covering the bow weakness. For Wingate, I'm using mostly for his passive, because it gives the ally in his row 20% damage up when dealing damage to a broken enemy. So Ritu could benefit with that from her big nuke attack. And then as for Camilla, mostly for the regen, just to help Viola survive, as well as if Viola does fall in battle, Camilla can actually cover for the weakness as well. So this is one team that I can suggest and some of the characters to use. However, there are obviously other characters you can use. If you're lucky enough to have Ferion, feel free to add him into the team, because he's definitely going to be able to deal a lot of damage for you in that fight. So moving on to the next team combination, you've got more of a bow orientated team. You've got Xanta, Scarecrow, Ashlyn or Viola being the main DPS in this team. So obviously you've got Viola being the debuffer, and you've got Hasumi and Vio as the burst heals and regen, as well as that defensive buff from Hasumi. Obviously from Wingate, you got his passive that also boosts damage for the character in front of him when the enemy is broken. And then you got the same again with Camilla being able to regen, so keep that survivability up for the character in front of her. However, in this case, Camilla's second passive is also going to benefit the other character in front of her, because Scarecrow is also a hunter, so he's going to be able to gain 10% bow damage increase from that. And then for Ashlyn, obviously he's going to be able to guarantee those crits, so it's going to deal a lot of damage as well. And then one last team, it consists of a range of weakness coverages. So you got Viola for the dagger, Xanta for hunter, and then you got Cyrus for the fire damage as well. With Glossum here, he's got that defensive buff, so it's going to be very useful against Gertrude here and just to help your team survive. You got Lynette here just for the buffing, and then you got Millard, so you can debuff Gertrude's attack with a single target staff attack, as well as his burst heals. And then obviously you got regen with Theo. For Eliza, she's in the back row just to help Cyrus out with that damage boost as well with her passive. So yeah, because of how everyone's account is completely different, you might not have the characters that I suggested. However, some of the team combinations you could use, and if you don't have those characters, you can have replacements for them for the characters that you do have that also can potentially do the same thing as what I suggested. However, I don't really know how the fight's gonna go, but these are the characters that I'm planning to use because they're the characters that I have. Yours might be different. You might have Therion, you might have Harnett, for example, you might have Nicola as well. So yeah, it just depends how you want to use your team. These are just examples, so feel free to experiment and build your own teams as well. But yeah, as far as I know, Gertrude's gonna hit really hard. Make sure you have those heals, those defense buffs, as well as those debuffs for lowering her attack. And just quickly going on to equipment, ideally you want to have the highest armor available that you can get for your team during the fight, especially in the physical area, because Gertrude does a lot of physical damage to your teams. And then as for weapons, I go with a simple rule with if a character doesn't have enough HP, I'll just go with the Twilight weapon. And then if a character does have enough HP, I'll just use the other weapon that offers a bit more damage. Even if the grade doesn't actually affect the arena, it's still a bit more damage in my opinion, so it's up to you. And then as usual for accessories, you want beast scarves for characters that need the regen, and then equip the dragon scarves for your DPS characters as well. So yeah, that's it really for today guys. Thanks for watching as always. Hopefully this video has kind of helped you in trying to figure out and what kind of teams you want to build for the Gertrude Arena Cup. And if you feel like this video has helped you out, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Octopath CoTC content. See you in the next one. Peace!